welcome back to the Careless Podcast, a space for self trust, inner power, and the kind of growth that doesn't need to be allowed to be real. I am your host, and this is your reminder that confidence isn't always loud. It doesn't have to be bold, brash, or performative to be powerful. Sometimes the most magnetic people are the ones who don't say much at all. They just walk in the room and something shifts. That's the kind of confidence we're building today. Quiet, clean, unstoppable, unique, iconic, powerful, and beautiful. The kind that comes from within. So, let's get into it. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that confidence means taking up space loudly, that to be respected, you have to speak first, to be seen, you have to perform, to be liked, you have to entertain. But here is the truth, y'all. Real confidence doesn't perform, it exists. It doesn't beg for attention, it simply doesn't fade away. And in this episode, I want to teach you how to embody a presence that speaks before you do. The kind that doesn't just walk in the room but leaves an echo. So, you guys, this about that, that we were taught that, that confidence means taking up space loudly. That is simply not truth. Talking for myself, I use it to think that way. Honestly, I always thought that being loud, being extroverted, and being able to talk to everybody and be able to just be loud and tell people, I'm so pretty, I am so magnetic, I'm fantastic. Telling people that, there's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like that is just somebody that is insecure and seeking for validation. They're telling people, I am beautiful, I have a face scar, my face scar never declines, my body's tea. There's nothing wrong telling people that, but if they didn't ask, or just out of nowhere you just start talking about how you love yourself, that is just not, I don't know how to explain. It's not wrong, but at the same time you're just showing that you are insecure and you're seeking for validation and approval. Because I don't know if you guys have watched any movies or TV shows that had a bully, a popular guy, and this popular guy on school, he was like the king and everybody feared him, and he was just the perfect guy ever. And this guy always told people I am perfect, I am popular, I am good at football, I am good at basketball, I am good at soccer, whatever, baseball, whatever, you guys. He just told people that I'm so pretty, and he used it to bully people that were introverted, quiet, didn't need that much attention or validation. And at the end of that movie, at the end of any movie, you get to know that he's actually super insecure and that he's going through problems. And so this is how insecure people act. They want to seem like they are confident, that they own the world, that they this and that, but at the end of the day they are the most insecure people in the world. And this is why you need to actually pay attention and see if somebody's bullying you, if somebody is being rude to you, if somebody's just talking over you, you don't need to get mad, because you just know that that person wants attention so much. And actually, if somebody's bullying you, for you to be sad or to care about it, you actually need to know why do they bully me for? If they constantly talking about my appearance or my body, why are they mad? This is literally my body, my face. I cannot change that. And also, I love who I am. So should I care if they're bullying me? Yes or no? No, because you love who you are. If somebody's talking over you, you don't need to tell them can you please stop talking over me? Just let them have the attention that they want. And when the person is done, tell her, like, or tell him, the next time, please don't talk over me. Let me finish what I had to say. Boom, you killed his ego, whatever he wanted to, you know, to make you feel smaller around those people. And actually pay attention to it, you guys. It's super important. So let's start here. There's this myth that confident people are always the ones who talk the most, move the fastest, shine the brightest, but in reality that's often insecurity in disguise. Real confidence doesn't need to own every single thing, as I was just talking about, and it's not about being the loudest, it's about being the most aligned. A lot of people often seek validation, and confident people seek clarity. Confidence is the quiet knowing that you belong here. You don't have to prove it. You don't need everyone's approval to feel grounded in who you are. So if I know I am pretty, I belong in here, I was meant to be here. I don't need to prove anybody nothing. I don't own an explanation to anybody. I don't need approval, and I'm happy with who I am and what I am doing and where I am. I am happy. I am confident to sit in this table with you guys, And so when you know those things, you are confident, you don't, because if you feel like I don't belong in here, I need to prove people and I need everyone's approval to feel grounded in who I am, then you need to work on that. You need to understand and tell yourself and find and actually have a realization that I talking about in the episode, which was like this one realization changed everything for me. Go and listen to it. It's actually amazing, and take something from that episode, because I feel like that will help you a lot. Because when you realize something, you will change every single thing. Anyways, you don't have to prove anybody anything, because myself, talking from myself, okay, my perspective, I feel confident recording this episode right now, and I feel like I belong in here. I don't have to prove to anybody that I am recording an episode, and I don't need anyone's approval that it is okay to record an episode, because I feel grounded in who I am. And that's it, you guys. So how do we do that? How to be remembered without shouting. How do you walk into a room and leave a mark without oversharing, overperforming, overstretching your energy, and just being loud when you don't need to? Here are the 3 shifts that help you get there, and me personally, I use those 3, but if you find another way that works the best for you, then do it. First is let your energy arrive before your words do. This is about grounding yourself before you speak. Take a deep breath, make eye contact, be present, let your calm speak louder than the volume ever could. So usually I do this when I feel very very nervous or anxious, or like I'm not gonna do that, but then I always end up doing it. Okay, so I went, like, it was me and my family and my little cousin. We went on, like, it is like a street where it has a lot of bars and karaoke bars, and they have everything in stores and everything. And it was specifically 2 bars. It was 2 bars that people were dancing outside of the bar and just dancing and vibing. And at first, I was anxious to dance. And I saw everybody around me, including my family. They were dancing and this, and that. And I was just standing there like, guys, are we supposed to do that? I don't think that's cool. But then after, I just took a deep breath, and I told myself, I was just like, girl, come on. Seriously, like everybody's doing it, everybody's singing out loud. Nobody cares if you're singing or if you're jumping, whatever. Nobody actually cares. Just do it. Just do it, okay? And I did it. It ended up being fun, me dancing and singing songs that I knew. It was just so fun. And that actually works, you guys. The second one is speak less but with more weight. You don't need to fill every space with noise. The most powerful people choose their words with intention, and people listen when they speak. This was me 3 months ago. I talk it a lot, you guys. Like, I talk a lot. What? I talk it a lot. And nonsense. Like, people, like, I just talk nonsense. I couldn't stay in a place where two people were silent, like just silence, without any noise, just walking. And I've been working on that lately, and I'm working on that, and I'm getting better with it. If I don't have nothing to say, then I will not speak. It doesn't mean that I'm just being dry or something, but if I, if I'm sitting with somebody that I'm comfortable with, I will be quiet for a minute. I will not talk at all. And if I'm sitting in big groups, I will also be quiet. But if it is just two people, if it is me and somebody else, of course I will try, to talk more, and like, especially if we met recently, just like keep up with the conversation, like what is your favorite color, what do you like to do, whatever. I feel like that's reasonable, and we don't need to always be quiet, okay? This is not what I'm trying to tell you, but it's like, speak with intention. Like, speak when you actually have something interesting, something that will bring the other person more knowledge, and that person will learn something from your, from your thought, whatever. Like, just speak with intention instead of just speaking nonsense. Like saying, like, yesterday I made my nails. Like, nobody asked you and nobody cares. The third one is stop explaining yourself. Please, confident people don't over justify their choices. They move with clarity, not permission. Okay, and remember this, you don't need to be allowed to be unforgettable, you just need to be real. Because me personally, y'all, I don't feel like I need or I owe an explanation to nobody. Unless it's like my mom, my sister, my dad. Besides that, I don't owe you any explanation and why I did that. Why didn't you tell me about this? I don't need, because when I feel like asking for your opinion, I will. But if I didn't tell you anything, it's because I wanted to keep it for myself, and I think people need to understand that. And as a confident woman that I am, okay, and that you are turning yourself into, you don't need to explain anybody what you've been doing and why you ghosted them and why you don't feel like going out. You don't need, like, this is just about you and yourself. Keep that to yourself. But if you feel like, I'm gonna tell them why I did that, do it. But I feel like you don't need an explanation. You don't need to tell them, like, I bought an, I don't know, let me think of an example. Oh, I bought this book because this book is about how to create good habits and how to be more disciplined and more productive. Okay, like, you don't need to explain them why you bought that book. I bought this book because I liked it. Like, you guys need to stop giving out information that people didn't genuinely ask for. Unless it's somebody asking me, what is this book about? Why did you buy it? Is it interesting? Then you tell them, okay? You have a good conversation. But if they only ask you, like, why did you buy this book? Or like, why did you ghost me for 1 week? Like, nobody cares, and I'm not gonna give you explanation, okay? You do have a reason, yes you do, but we don't need to explain yourself all the time. Like, it is exhausting, and people need to understand that, sometimes it's sad that you just ghost people or block people out of nowhere. But if you block somebody, you do have a good reason. You have a valid reason. I feel like for me to block somebody, I will warn them like 2 to 3 times. Like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. If they don't listen to me, it means that my word is not important for them, that's why they keep doing that, so I'm just gonna block them. But ghosting somebody, I feel like you just ghost them because you feel like you're chasing them, or that you are not in the mood to talk to anybody, and that's okay. I feel like we also need to normalize being distant a little bit, okay? Not all the time, but a little bit. Me and my friends, we are very distant, if I'll say so. Like, we can talk for like one day and then go a week or 2 weeks without talking, and then talking again, because we feel like we need our own space. We don't need to talk every single day. And that is just the best thing ever, that I founded those type of people in my life, because me myself, I am a little bit distant. Anyways, now let's talk about the part most people miss: energy control. Because here's the truth, you guys, you can't be magnetic if you're constantly leaking energy. You don't have to say yes to everything, okay? You don't have to be available 24/7. You don't have to drain yourself trying to be likable. The most magnetic people protect their peace. They don't overshare just to feel silence. They know when to speak, when to walk away, and when to just listen. So if you've been feeling invisible, drained, or like your presence doesn't land, check your energy first. Ask yourself, am I giving too much of myself away? Am I shrinking to make others uncomfortable? Am I trying to be like it or trying to be true? Because confidence isn't about being seen all the time. It's about being mistakable yourself, even when you're quiet, and you don't want to be likable. Let's talk about it for a second. I know this episode will be long, but I just need to tell you this. You don't want to be likable. Who wants to be likable? Like, if I'm talking to somebody, and if two people are talking about me and they say like, no, this girl, she's likable, I like her. No, we don't want that perspective. We want that, like, no, she's sweet, she's amazing, I love her energy, I love this and that. We don't want to be likable, because people like to manage other people. They like to have control and power over other people. So when you're trying to be likable, she's very likable, they mean that basically I can control her, I can manipulate her thoughts super easily. She will not even notice. This is how I view this myself. Because if somebody knows that they don't have control over you, they cannot manipulate you so easily, they cannot make you feel smaller around them, they will have respect for you, they will talk to you differently, they will approach to you differently. And that's what we're seeking for. We don't want anybody to come to us and talk like they're talking to whatever, like their friends. We want them to have respect for us. So you don't want to be likable. Here's the next layer. Your presence gets stronger when your boundaries do. People respect what you respect. So if you're constantly letting your time, space, or energy be treated like it's disposable, others will treat it that way too. Boundaries don't make you hard to love. They make you clear to love. And here's how to create boundaries that elevate your confidence. Start by saying no without explaining. Do you want to go out? No. Can you please give me money? No. Can you please help me with that? No, not right now. Can you please do this for me? No. Oh, since you got up, can you please bring me water? No. Okay, can we start saying no to things without feeling guilty? Do you want to go out? No, I don't want to. No, thank you, but thanks for asking. You don't need to explain why you said no. Like, can we please stop having this mindset that people need to explain why they said no to something? If I said no, it's because if my friends ask me, do you want to go out? And I tell them no. And they say, why? And then I tell them, no, I don't feel like going out, but thanks for asking. It's because I don't feel like going out, okay? I don't want to do that. And people need to respect that, okay? You don't need to explain anything. If you don't feel like doing something, don't do that. Don't put yourself into a comfortable situation where you just do because somebody asked you to. Stop apologizing for resting, pausing, and protecting your peace. Why are you apologizing? Like, what is that? Are we now apologizing just because you vanished for 2 weeks? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't answer your text. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying. I'm sorry, I couldn't come yesterday. I'm sorry. Oh, like what is that? Like what? Why are we saying What are we saying sorry for exactly? Like I want to understand, because if I said no to something, I'm not gonna apologize for it. If I did something that like I had the right to do, why will I be apologizing to you? Honestly, like what is that? Like what is the reason behind it? I want to understand it. Speak from clarity, not emotion. You don't have to defend your calm. Y'all need to stop, okay? Sometimes you actually need to argue with people and discuss and be like, stop saying that when they actually need to hear that. But when it is like something that you don't want to put your energy into, then don't do that. Just vanish without saying a word, okay? Let them leave. Let them live with their lies, with whatever is going on in their minds. Just let them be, okay? If somebody's talking bad about me, if somebody is lying about my name and like how I act in this situation, okay, like you don't need to explain yourself. As I said, you don't need to go to people and tell them like, I didn't do that. She's the one that started this. She and this and that. Just get over it, move on, and then you would just live in calminess, So let me say this loud for people in the back. You don't have to become someone else to be confident. You don't have to fake extroversion, okay? You don't have to be constantly on. You don't need perfect posture, the loudest laugh, and the flashiest presence. What you do need is self-trust. Build self-trust. The quiet inner voice that says, I'm good with who I am. I don't need to take up more space to matter. I just need to stop drowning myself for people. That's where magnetism lives. And do you guys have 1 more minute to talk about self-trust? And I feel like it took a very, very long time for me to build that self-trust, as I said. And when I finally stopped lying to myself, because I used to lie to myself, and when you lie to yourself, you are just fooling yourself. You are just being foolish, because why do you not believe people? Because they lie to you. That's why you don't trust people. They lie to you. It makes you, the lies that they lied about makes you not believe them. So what makes you think that if you don't lie to yourself, you will not have self-trust? Because when I stop lying to myself, like I start to be brutally honest with myself, like, girl, stop doing that. That was not nice. Just stop acting that way. This is not who you are. Be brutally honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I want you to be honest with yourself. And when you start being honest, you will start to build self-trust. I promise you. So you don't have to yell to be heard. You don't have to perform to be seen. And you don't have to prove anything to be enough. you're already magnetic, okay? The more you trust your presence, the more others will too. And start walking into rooms like you're not looking for permission, like you already belong, because you do. Let your confidence be clean, let your energy be calm, let your presence be unforgettable without ever raising your voice, and be cozy. People often tells me that, like, I am very cozy to be around, like I am so cozy and I make them feel welcome, and be cozy. Try to be as cozy as you can. You don't need to talk to be cozy, okay? You don't need to scream and tell people, I'm super cozy. No, just give them a good energy and a good vibe. If this episode helped you, send it to someone who has been questioning their power, someone who's been loud of survival and ready to get quiet and still be seen. Follow the Careless Podcast on TikTok, CarelessPod1, and Instagram, Careless Podcast, for more soft power, deep confidence, and healing reminders. Don't shout, okay? Just show up with your full self. And as always, stay careless, but never careless with your presence. Until next time, I love y'all.